Just Like Us, for LGBT young people.
Sarah, I'm thrilled to be here. In 2019, it's February. I just had a near-death experience. It was very traumatic. Some water ran down the wrong way.
Oh yeah, I couldn't tell what was happening.
Sarah was just staring at me like, you good?
To be honest, I thought it was my moment. I thought I was going to be like, finally, solo podcast. It's all about me. Welcome to the JLU podcast.
Happy February. How are you doing? How have you been? What are you up to?
I've been good. I've been mostly just listening to Ariana Grande's new album all day.
It just came out. When we're recording this, Ariana Grande's album just came out.
Up to lots of things this month so far, even though it's quite early on in the month. But we've had
for example, here comes our good segue into what we wanted to talk about. We went to see a screening in our college of Pride, the film. It's a really good film.
It's so good. I've seen it so many
Highly
times.
recommend. Yeah, I've seen it like 3 times now.
It gets better every time. But why did we go see Pride, James?
Because, it's LGBT History Month. Yay!
LGBT History Month is traditionally celebrated in February because of the Section 28 abolition in... Is that how you say that? Abolition?
Yeah.
I will roll with it. 2003. And it's also the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots.
Yeah, so it's an especially special
year
this year.
Special one. So to celebrate that...
We are going to talk about LGBT role models.
Yay.
What they are... what they mean, who they are,
what it
some
means
examples,
to be a role model in 2019.
all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
You're listening to Just Like Us, the monthly show for LGBT young people.
So the first one is actually quite special to me and James because we went to go see her a few days ago, speaking at uni, and her name is Phil Apokujima, or Lady Phil,
yeah.
and she was the founder of UK Black Pride. Co-founder.
But still.
UK Black Pride.
She's been a trustee at Stonewall. She's done all sorts of stuff. She's an
really
incredible,
amazing woman.
Radical feminist, activist, lesbian woman.
She's
she
very
was
funny
incredibly
as well.
inspiring. She was so funny.
She was
great. Absolutely hilarious. I've never been so engaged by a speaker.
Yeah,
I think I was saying this afterwards.
So she spoke a lot about like intersectionality and her struggle with like being like an LGBT Black woman. So like it's not just like being Black or being LGBT, it's kind of the intersection of those. And
how those oppressions can combine into a different beast.
Yeah, and I think it was
different
really
struggles. Cool. She was talking about how it feels to be kind of doing activism in the modern day when it's like, well, where do we go from here? Like, how do I live up to these expectations? And she said that she knows a saying, we don't inherit this land from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children.
Which was very, like, mic drop moment. Like, it was very...
Powerful.
I feel like it also really puts into perspective why we, like, have LGBT activism. I feel like it's very relevant to Just Like Us, because, obviously, we go in and talk to, like, young people.
Really?
And help them to, like, carry on that legacy.
You're listening to Just Like Us, the monthly show for LGBT young people.
So mine is a very special person who I actually only knew from Instagram, but like it's modern, it's hip. She's called Aaron Phillip, and she's
Tell me about Aaron Phillip.
I will tell you everything I know about Aaron Phillip. She is a disabled, gender fluid teenager who is kind of attempting to like carve a space for herself within like the modelling industry. So she has quadriplegic cerebral palsy, and I think it was end of 2017 she tweeted something along the lines of when I get scouted or discovered, like the world isn't ready, and like with these really iconic photos of herself just kind of owning who she is as, you know, a trans person.
She knows her worth, and she knows like the power that she has.
That's a really important thing to, like, when you're in a world that is so constantly evaluating and questioning. I think we've all seen like the whole like debate around trans people, like debating your existence.
Yeah,
it's very inspiring to see someone who's just so fully themselves, that 100%, and completely believes in themselves in a way that, like, it's kind of, they went viral from that tweet and then have since modelled for Paper Magazine and like ASOS. And it's really inspiring to see them kind of
following their dream.
Yeah, like just kind of follow their dream and kind of be so unrelenting and like, this is what's going to happen for me, and everyone is going to kind of adjust themselves to make space for me, which I thought was just really inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, as a trans disabled person of colour, like that isn't an attitude that is very publicised from some very marginalised groups.
And obviously, like, I'm not like trans or disabled or a person of colour, but I still like can take a lot of inspiration from Aaron Phillip.
I didn't have much to say about Munro Bergdorf apart from that I love her.
She's a big Munro Bergdorf.
I'm a big Berghead, as we're called,
that-
and that's not the real fan name. I don't know if there is a real name.
Munro, I'd like to issue an apology.
She is incredible. She was in the news a lot. Oh, I should give some context. She's a trans woman of color who is a model, and she was in the news recently for the L'Oreal controversy when L'Oreal fired her for comments she'd made on her own Facebook about
White supremacy
racism, white supremacy. And she was fired for that. And she's now again like Aaron Phillip. She's really carving a space in her industry, and she knows exactly what she wants, and she's done a lot of great activism. I saw her talk, and it was incredibly inspiring, talking about making space for LGBT people, both for yourself and like for future generations of LGBT people, and like the important work that she's doing. I've read so many interviews with her. She's incredible.
She's so
Please go and Google her.
I also love how she kind of took that kind of controversy, which could have been like destroying for her career, like very destructive, but she like then flipped that and kind of used that platform to just share this like idea of self-acceptance and you know, and like trans issues, and I just thought that was really amazing.
You're listening to Just Like Us, the monthly show for LGBT young people.
That's gonna do it for us mostly this week. But briefly talking about role models and the importance of having real LGBT people. We wanted to mention the work that Just Like Us does.
Since February 2016, Just Like Us have trained 200 plus student role models to go into schools across the country, speaking to 30,000 school children. So you can imagine
incredible.
Like, the impact that has, like reaching
The impact that has,
people.
truly international. Well, national specifically. But
I was going to say, definitely not yet.
Not
but,
yet. But 30,000 children literally just seeing an LGBT person exists, when so many of them, I would imagine, maybe even a majority of them literally will not have met an LGBT person before.
That they know of.
Well, of course. And so, like, just that sort of thing is incredible. Right, that's it. We'll see you next month.
Have a lovely LGBT History Month.
Enjoy your LGBT history. Learn about things. Happy Stonewall 50th anniversary.
We'll see you in our LGBT future.
All right.
The look
Goodbye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Just Like Us, the monthly show for LGBT young people. The music was by Twisterium. We come into schools too. Young people, teachers and parents can find us at www.justlikeus.org.